Imagine for a moment this glass of water is your salary. The Home Office says to get a skilled worker visa, your salary must at least meet this line, this black line I have drawn over here. So this is the minimum salary that should be paid in order to sponsor you for a skilled worker visa. Fair enough. Your employer offers you a great job. The salary is well above the line. You are happy, they are happy. But then some new confusing rules come into play. Your employer, trying to be helpful, offers you a loan to cover the huge fees for the visa. It's a good deal, better than a bank loan where you would end up paying interest. You agree to it, but because of that, the Home Office says that the loan repayment is a deduction. Even though your paycheck is the same, in their eyes, your salary has shrunk. It's now below the line. Does that seem fair or logical? Well, this isn't just an imaginary scenario that I'm making up over here. It's the confusing reality that thousands of UK sponsors and skilled workers are now facing. The Home Office, with good intentions, has created a maze of rules that could accidentally punish you, the very people it wants to attract. And today, we are going to untangle this mess. We'll look at the huge unanswered questions these rules have created, and we will propose the common sense solutions that need to be put in place. Stay with me. This is one of the most important updates affecting UK work visas right now as I'm talking today. If you have any questions about your specific circumstances, please remember this video provides general guidance. It's vital to seek specialist advice tailored to your situation. Everyone's situation is different. Book your proven consultation. I always show this gold bar and advice session. The link will be in the description. The good intention, the bad execution. Home Office has good intentions. However, the rules are confusing. Alright, let's be very clear. The goal behind these new policies is a good one. Home Office has a very good intention. The Home Office wants to protect sponsored workers from exploitation. They want to stop a situation where a bad employer hires someone from overseas, then forces them to illegally pay for the costs of sponsoring them. It has been happening for quite a long time now, last 3 to 5 years now. Employers have been doing this, and Home Office is aware of this. Things like the sponsor license fee or the immigration skills charge, these are employers' business costs. Forcing the worker to pay them is wrong, and we all agree with that. The government wanted to close any loopholes that allowed this kind of exploitation. A noble cause. But the way they've written the rules is where the problem starts. Instead of using a scalpel to fix the issue, it feels they have used a sledgehammer, and in doing so, they've created massive uncertainty for legitimate, honest employers and their workers. The new rules, which came into effect in stages from late 2024, around December 2024 and early 2025, introduced a new concept. They say that when they assess your salary for a skilled worker visa, they will now subtract, that is minus, deduct certain payments you pay back to your employer. This includes deductions from your salary, repayment of loans, and even investments. Suddenly, a salary that was perfectly fine till last year might not be high enough today. And this has left everyone with more questions than answers. Let's break it down, the biggest problems. If you're getting value in this video, please give a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos on UK visas and immigration. This YouTube channel has a lot of resources, list of documents for various visas, a lot of things, all the loopholes explained, any issues, any frauds that anyone is committing, everything is there. Let's get back to the video. The clawback dilemma. So let's start with my dominoes. The major issue is something called a clawback agreement. This is a very common and very sensible business practice. Let me explain. Sponsoring a skilled worker is very expensive. You have the certificate of sponsorship fee, number one. Number two, the immigration skills charge. Number three, visa application fees. Number four, immigration health surcharge. It can run into many thousands of pounds. Now, a good employer might say to their new employee, don't worry about the big upfront cost and the health fees along with the visa fees. We'll pay them for you. It's our investment in you. All we ask is that if you decide to leave the job within, say, the first year or two, you pay back a portion of those fees. This is clawback. It's fair, isn't it? The employee gets a huge benefit. They don't have to find thousands of pounds before they've even earned their first paycheck. The employer is also protected. It gives them some security that their new hire is committed to the role. Everybody wins. But here's the terrifying new problem. Under the new rules is the clawback agreement, now considered a deduction. That reduces the worker's salary. The guidance is completely silent. It's dangerously vague. So let's play this out. An employer hires a software developer on a salary of 45,000. This is comfortably above the minimum required salary. This is just an example I am taking of the salary. The employer pays 5,000 for the worker's visa fees and they sign a clawback agreement, either part of the employment contract or a side letter, however that is. The Home Office caseworker sees this agreement. They decide that this clawback might be used one day. So they treat it as a reduction in the annual salary. They average that 5,000 over the 5-year visa period. That's 1,000 per year. So in their eyes, the developer's salary is not 45,000, it's 44,000. So 5,000 per for 1 year, they are taking 1,000, 45 minus 1, 44,000. Let's say the minimum salary for that job code is 44,500. This is where the domino effect comes in. The visa will be refused. Even worse, the employer who was just trying to help could be accused of stating the wrong salary on the course. This could put their sponsor license at risk. You see the chain reaction here. It's a disaster. And what's the alternative? Employers will just say, it's too risky for us to help. You have to pay all the fees yourself upfront. This means skilled workers will need massive savings just to be able to take a job in the UK. Or the company might just decide sponsoring people is too complex, too risky, and that hurts the UK economy. It stops us from getting the essential skills we need. This is a huge unanswered question. And the silence from the Home Office is causing immense anxiety. Let's get to problem number 2, the investment trap. The next black hole of confusion is around investments. The new rules say that money you have invested in your sponsor's business could also be subtracted from your salary. Again, the intention is to stop dodgy arrangements where someone buys a job by investing in a company just to get a visa. This has happened in the past. But the rule is so broad, it catches completely legitimate business arrangements. The word investment is not defined anywhere. Let me give you 2 examples. First, think about company share schemes. Many companies, big and small, offer employees the chance to buy shares in the business. It's a voluntary scheme. It's a great perk. It makes employees feel more a part of the company. Buying, but is buying shares an investment? That will now reduce your salary in the eyes of Home Office. And if it is, it means sponsored workers would be excluded from a benefit that all of their colleagues get to enjoy. That could even be discriminatory. Nobody knows the answer. Here's an even more worrying scenario. Imagine you are an entrepreneur. You came to the UK on a startup visa, maybe an innovator founder visa. You and your partner start a business, let's say a crafty pottery business. You invest your own life savings, say 50,000 to get it started. Yeah, a pottery business. This mug, yeah, it says Sachin. I have made this myself. Just on the side note, when we went to Cyprus in April, and yeah, I did a pottery class, and this was made by me. Okay, you build the cleans of this business, this pottery business. Buy the clay, you build the brand, you make things like this mug. The business grows, it's successful. Now you need to switch onto a skilled worker visa to continue working as a director in your own business in the company that you have built yourself. The new rules could mean that the 50,000 you invested years ago at the very start is now treated as a deduction from your salary. Even if you are now paying yourself a handsome salary of 80,000 a year, that huge initial investment could wipe it out entirely. In the Home Office's calculation, it's absurd. It punishes entrepreneurs. It discourages people from investing and growing businesses in the UK. Through Immigration Lawyers Practitioners Association, we lawyers recently wrote to the Home Office asking for urgent clarification on this matter. We asked a very simple question. Is there a start date? Will investments made many years before sponsorship, operate to reduce your salary? The answer is we don't know. And the uncertainty is toxic for business growth. Problem number 3, costs, choices, and lawyers. Sponsors' costs, workers' costs. Finally, let's talk about a topic that's close to my heart, legal advice. The rules are very strict that a sponsor cannot pass on the costs associated with their duties, that is, the sponsor's costs. This includes costs for getting the sponsor license or assigning certificate of sponsorship. This now includes legal fees, my fees for that work, or any other lawyer's fees. But this creates a practical nightmare. When a company hires us or any immigration lawyer, we often charge a single fixed fee to handle the whole process. The fee covers the work on the certificate of sponsorship and the work on the worker's personal visa application. So it would also include the worker's costs for his visa application, etc. How is a sponsor supposed to perfectly separate these two costs, which are together as a fixed fee? Separate them. It's incredibly difficult. And a sponsor who gets it wrong could be accused of breaking the rules and face having their license revoked, cancelled. Then there's the idea of genuine choice. The rules say a sponsor cannot pass on the costs of immigration advice to a worker if the worker didn't have genuine choice about the lawyer. But what does that mean in practice? Most companies have a law firm they trust and have worked with for years. We represent many sponsors, many companies, and we also represent their employees. It happens. They will naturally recommend that law firm to their sponsored employees. It's obvious. It's efficient. The lawyer knows the company, which makes the process smoother for everyone. Is that enough to be a genuine choice? If the company says, you are free to choose your own lawyer, but here is the one we recommend. They write this in an email. Is a simple email from the worker saying, I am happy to use your lawyer, enough proof that he had choice? The guidance gives no examples, no definition. It leaves well meaning sponsors walking on eggshells, terrified of making an innocent mistake that could cost them their ability to hire talent from around the world. The solutions, a part to common sense. So, we have laid out the problems, the confusion, the anxiety, the unanswered questions. It's a mess on my table as well here, but it's a fixable mess. The respected legal body, Immigration Laws Practice Association, had that highlighted these issues, didn't just complain. So we haven't just complained to Home Office. We also offered some suggestions. We've offered simple, common sense solutions, and I want to share them with you now because this is the path forward. Solution number one: simplify the main rule. This is the big one. Instead of the confusing categories of business costs, where is it gone? Immigration costs, investments, etc., etc., the rule should be amended. It should simply say that money is not deducted from the salary if the payment is for an additional benefit, which the applicant has a genuine choice to be stressed, to take up. Simple. If the worker has a real choice and is not being forced, then it is not exploitative. This single change would remove so much of the uncertainty. Solution number two: define everything. The Home Office needs to add clear definitions to its guidance. What exactly do you mean by investments? What is a clawback clause? Does it count from the start or only if the person leaves? Don't leave it to guesswork. Give employers and workers the clear public rule book which is available in public domain. The guidance should then be updated with clear examples. For example, a voluntary company-wide share scheme is a permitted benefit. A clawback agreement, another example, a clawback agreement for visa fees where the employee has a choice is permitted. Clarity is kindness. Solution number three: clarify the timelines. Specifically for investments, the guidance must state that any investments made before the period of sponsorship begins will not be used to reduce a worker's salary. This protects entrepreneurs and those who have invested in their own businesses long term. It's a simple fix that supports business growth. Conclusion and call to action. So, where does this leave us? We have a government that rightly wants to stop the exploitation of migrant workers. We support that 100%. But we have a set of rules that are so poorly drafted, so vague, and so confusing that they risk punishing the good guys. They risk causing honest employers to breach the rules by accident. They risk making the UK a less attractive place for global talent to come and work. And they risk stopping companies from helping their employees with a huge financial burden of moving to a new country. The solutions are not difficult. They are based on common sense, clarity, simplicity, and fairness. We are calling on the Home Office to listen to the experts, to read the advice they have been given, and to urgently review and amend these rules. Protect workers, yes, but don't create chaos in the process. If you are a UK business sponsoring workers or you are a skilled worker confused by these new rules, I hope this video has shown you that you are not alone. Please share this video. The more people who understand this issue, the more pressure there will be for a common sense solution. And if you are a sponsor grappling with these questions, trying to figure out how to structure your employment contracts or your legal fee arrangements, then please get professional advice. Consultation is always gold. You can book a consultation with us. Link is in the description. This is a minefield right now, and a single misstep can have devastating consequences. Now that you have understood the rules on employers recouping visa costs or trying to recoup visa costs and the impacts of it. If you wish to know how the UK's sponsored work visa system is on the verge of collapse, watch this video here. It will go over many of the changes that have happened over several years to the work visa system. Thank you very much for watching.